what partnerships are currently in place, and that's already quite strong. But now let's get to the criticism. So that would be exactly the same as if you take Ethereum and there's an additional token that has some functions as well. Hey Daniel, why so negative? VeChain has just had a good performance and now you're saying to stay away, sell everything, just don't buy. Yes, I'll tell you why this investment is definitely only interesting for a specific type of investor, and I think we're talking about less than 1% who are currently out there. What I mean exactly and how you can also win USDT in 2025, you'll find out in this video. Yes, I'll tell you why this investment is definitely only interesting for a specific type of investor, and I think we're talking about less than 1% who are currently out there. What I mean exactly and how you can also win USDT in 2025, you'll find out in this video. And we'll also take a look at what's going on with the Bitcoin spot ETF. There are also some explosive news. So a quick look at the heat map. Yes, here you can see it's a downward movement. There are a few outliers, like for example, Cardano is up almost 10% here. I will give an update on that. Otherwise, XRP and Bitcoin are holding up relatively solid. Unfortunately, situation with the Bitcoin ETFs looks a bit different, and BlackRock is leading the way there. We had record outflows yesterday, the highest outflows since the Bitcoin spot ETF was established. Why is that the case now? So I have a theory. Institutional investors are behind this, and they're now taking a close look at what's happening around XRP. Is the appeal coming or not from the EC by January 15th? There's still time. I talked about this yesterday. On the other hand, Donald Trump takes office. What will happen now? Does it start off positively, or does he just make empty promises and in the end, nothing comes of it? And there's a lot of hesitation because institutional investors focus on profits. Bitcoin fans might not get it, but institutional traders need profits. It can quickly reverse. The hardcore Bitcoin fans might not understand this, but institutional traders indeed need to realize profits, and that could very well be the reason why some of the market is being drained right now. That can quickly turn in the other direction. So please remember back to the elections, the US elections, it was exactly the same. It took a while, there were outflows, then Trump comes in and bam, everything flows back in. So just relax, lean back, and wait. But it's definitely exciting what's happening on the institutional side right now. Since we're on the topic of what's happening, a huge thank you for everything that's going on here. So it's really crazy. Just yesterday, I think we gained 60 or 70 new subscribers. We're already solidly on our way to K. By the way, at K, there's a hefty bonus coming in 2021. So, even if you haven't subscribed yet but enjoy watching the videos, go ahead and click the button and feel free to activate the bell so you get all the important updates. The video from yesterday was really strong, the comments were amazing, and there have been so many views on it so far. It's just wild. Thank you so much. Now, let's take a look at VeChain. Before we get to the actual use case, what exactly distinguishes VeChain and what it does, I've just pulled up the chart in TradingView. As you can see here, nothing happened for a long time, and then it shot up significantly. Sure, we were in a bull run, and we were talking about something peaking around 0.28. Just below that was the all-time high, and then it went down. There was a bounce back for a bit, but then it was basically the end, and the thing just kept fluctuating between 0.01 and 0.02. So I can tell you that I was once invested at nearly a cent. Unfortunately, those assets fell victim to a hacker attack, so nothing is available anymore, and I haven't invested again myself. We're clearly talking about the dinosaur here. On the other hand, we also talked about XRP and Cardano, and suddenly that thing made a spectacular comeback. So why do I still say that for a certain type of investor? This thing is unprofitable. I'm probably speaking for about 99% of all current crypto investors. Yes, there was a bit of an upswing here again, although that was also a bit of a rebound at first, and currently we're talking about around 0.05. Early investors profited. We're up 4% daily, a good buying chance after a 30% correction. Let's learn about VeChain. If we take a look at the daily view, we're currently up about 4%, which is pretty nice. and it could seem interesting for buying because looking at the monthly view, there was a 30% correction here. So it could definitely be worth considering. Even if we look at it now, this could very well be an uptrend. But before we get into that, let's first take a look at what VeChain actually is. As the name suggests, we're talking about a proprietary blockchain, but unlike many others, we're not in the financial sector, which most might assume. Instead, we're discussing supply chain optimization, more efficient business processes, more transparency, which is what distinguishes a blockchain. And for that, I just want to give you a few examples that make it easier to explain. So, for example, in the food industry, VeChain is used to, for example, to determine the freshness, the origin of the food, and to ensure that the customer can, for example, can look it up using their smartphone and see, okay, my product came from here and there. It has been on its journey for this long and so on. Similar, for example, in the pharmaceutical sector as well, where you also ask, okay, have these products really been stored and transported correctly? Are there possibly counterfeit products? And that brings us right to luxury goods. That was also an example where you can prove the authenticity the brand and thus effectively combat counterfeiting. Especially when it comes to luxury goods, the founder Sunny Lu should definitely know his stuff. You see him here because before he launched the blockchain and this whole project, he worked at Louis Vuitton in China as the CIO or Chief Information Officer. This means that he has significant expertise in the area of supply chains and luxury goods. VeChain itself was founded in June. Founded in 2015, the associated blockchain, VeChain Tor blockchain, was launched in June. It was launched in 2018, and I don't want to repeat myself too much, but these core factors are exactly what we're talking about. Transparency in supply chains, traceability, authenticity, health checks, and thus protection against counterfeiting, quality assurance, compliance, tracking, digital certificates, tokenization, healthcare, and so on. So the range is really impressive. But we're definitely talking about a project that is not in the BC space, rather in the BB space. And right now it's getting interesting because there are two tokens. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought at first too, because I didn't know much about it until I dug deeper into the research. As I said, I haven't followed the project closely. I'll get to the news that's currently out there in just a moment. Definitely there's the wet, the one I showed you, and then there's the weto. Okay, and what exactly are they doing now? So we are talking about a dual token system. So far, so nice. But why? So that would be exactly the same as if you mentioned Ethereum and then there's an additional token that has some functions as well. The basic idea behind it isn't entirely wrong, but if you look at some of the token movements, you could say there seems to be little activity on the blockchain, but good. Because if you look at the wet, the one I showed you, that's basically the value and investment token in the VeChain ecosystem. That means it's a share of ownership in the blockchain itself. But if you hold it, it passively generates the weto tokens. Okay? And you can then use them, for example, to pay transaction fees. So what's the idea behind it? Because if you take another look at the weto, you can see a price drop here. Well, okay, so this thing is definitely not meant for holding. Apparently, the demand isn't that high right now, or the user volume on the blockchain itself is just low, because otherwise the token would be positioned differently. The basic idea, we all know it from Ethereum, extremely high transaction fees. Why? Because of course the token has risen accordingly. Now I just wonder, this is all very nice. In the end, we're all investing in the token somewhere, hoping for an increase in value. But okay, maybe I'm just the only one who thinks this way. It definitely looks that way. That's why there's this weto, which is specifically used for transaction costs, but it's not supposed to rise extremely high in value and price, which would lead to expensive transaction fees again. There's news from the project as well, because recently the so-called Renaissance upgrade has been released. Here they're talking about a revolution plus new tokenomics. I'm unsure if tokenomics can change. The old token is positive with nearly all tokens in circulation. Maybe it's also related to the new token, because if I look at the old token, I personally find that very, very positive. So we have almost no diluted market cap here, which means that almost, just so no one puts me on the spot here, but almost all tokens are in circulation. You can take a look at it like this. If we also look at this here, yeah, it's the same game. So the tokens are here, for example, completely in circulation. What exactly has been optimized or changed in the tokenomics? I can't answer that. If you know, feel free to write it in the comments. In any case, this upgrade itself is supposed to improve interoperability with Ethereum. This can definitely be interesting, but please be aware that this is a blockchain operating in the BB sector, yet there are strong partners involved. So we'll get into that in more detail shortly. What I just found here, announced at the end of December last year, just a few days ago, VeChain announces a collaboration with Tesla. That's really strong. So here, by the way, you can also take your time to read through this. I won't go too deep into it. It's about charge to earn. Oh yes, another one of those play to earn things or something like that. Well, in this case, it's about environmentally friendly driving behavior. And by the way, VeChain, maybe you just saw it, has also partnered with the UFC USAND. And there are also environmentally friendly practices being promoted and so on and so forth, where you can also earn a reward. So all in all, of course, considering that we know about Elon Musk, Tesla, the new US government formation and so on, this could definitely be exciting. And since we're on the topic, I pulled up a list of the partnerships that currently exist. And that's strong, yeah. So you have PricewaterhouseCoopers as an example. Most of it is in Asia, I have to say. What a surprise. Kuehne and Nagel have been involved for years, so I've been following that from the beginning. DB Schenker, well, maybe they'll improve the rail system somehow. Before anyone starts crying, yes, this is DB Schenker and not DB. Just want to correct that right away before any hate comes in. BMW Group is also involved. Renault is on board as well. But there are also many, many other companies. I'm going to go through this quickly. You can take your time to read it through, but I'll get to what my criticisms are. Oh, look, HM is also involved. Of course, curiously, Louis Vuitton, for example. Not yet. It would certainly be conceivable, especially with trademark protection, that something like this could be used accordingly, but maybe it will come later. Now let's get to the criticism. I like to pull up the X profiles and take a look at them. Okay, the followers are really straight on board. And if you scroll down a bit further, looking at the postings, there's always something happening, like here, for example, with USC Together. But now take a look at the overall picture. So we have here, like how much attention is this all getting? Okay, now let's make a comparison, for example. About TAS. TAS, I've reported on this several times now. We are not paid by this project. I am personally invested and I think very highly of it. I will not even go into what this project is doing now. If you are interested, click here. What I want to point out is that we're talking about significantly fewer followers. But if you look at the reach here, it's definitely different. Okay, there's also something with K here, but on average, we're somewhere between 150 and 200,000 in reach, even though the follower count is significantly lower. And that's exactly the point I want to get to now, because I have here, for example, let's talk about price predictions. Now, one can certainly say at this point, hey, we're really doing very well in the race here. If you look at it, the average price has been reached here, but if we go further down to 2030, friends, there's still quite a bit of time left. Then we're talking about a possible 0.42. Okay, anyone who says they want to invest here for the long term can, if you want to believe this forecast, potentially take a 10x return. Yeah, now most people are in crypto because they say, well, I'm still not a millionaire tomorrow. What happened? I invested yesterday. Yeah, that's exactly the point. For everyone who's thinking short term, they should invest in other assets as much as possible. But you also have to remember that with VeChain, the volatility is still present. So until a few weeks, days, or months ago, we were still hovering around just under a cent, and now it's really peaked at a 7-fold increase. It has been now a 4-fold increase. So yeah, it really depends. I can give you a current example. I have it in my other group, Uptrend Trading, which is a pure announcement group where you get coin tips, but you also receive news about what's happening in the space in general, what's out there, etc., what you should pay attention to, but also some bonuses that I've negotiated. I can definitely tell you that I made the announcement about this token, and some people have surely invested. As of now, those who did would have already taken a 200% profit. So I've already realized some gains during the rise. Now we will see if this continues as it is or if there will be any shifts. Let's straighten everything out first before we talk about shifts. Definitely. The thing is that there are already tokens and coins that offer significantly more opportunities. But of course, they also come with much higher risks. The market cap here is obviously not comparable, but a doubling, tripling, or whatever is definitely much easier to achieve. So if you're interested and want to join Uptrend Trading for free, then check the description. You'll find the link to the group and can just join for free. And just to wrap up before we get to the summary, with Pionex you can win 2025 USDT. How is that possible? Please read the terms of participation here. You click on Join Now, go through KYC, and then you can participate in the winnings. I used the bot in 21 days. I made nearly 60% profit. I won't go deep into it. In Uptrend Trading, I share current trading bot results, so you get all info there. Check the description to join for free, and I'm looking forward to your opinion. Are you in VeChain? I keep sharing the current results from the trading bot, so you'll get all the info there. By the way, check the description to join for free, and now I'm really looking forward to your opinion. Are you invested in VeChain? What do you think about it? Are you invested in VeChain? What's your opinion on that? Do you think there's progress being made? Write in the comments if you liked the video and feel free to leave a like. It helps boost the algorithm and can push this video accordingly. Otherwise, I can only give you the tip to check out this video. It could be quite interesting. See you in the next video. Until then, all the best. Ciao!